So there's going to be some changes to the videos, to the platform. They're going to start looking more professional. I've been working on logos and all kind of other branding things. And I'm trying to start a segment where it's going to be called In Bed with A. No, it's not what you're thinking, but we're going to start discussing some real life issues. So hopefully, there'll be links below. There'll be all kinds of things going on where you guys can interact with me, give me topics, we can make discussions, do things, be more interactive. There's a product line coming out. There's lots of things I've been working on that's about to come about. The whole reason I am even on here discussing this is I actually want to talk about loss. And I feel like this is no better time because everyone in the nation is talking about this Kobe Bryant situation. Um, the one thing I want to talk about is, love people while they're here. There's no sense in, I guess, talking about how great or how awesome someone was when they're not around. And you may not have been that way when they were present. Um, Something else with loss, I mentioned before, my dad is dead and gone, has been dead and gone for 10, 11 years. Yesterday was a very hard day for me. I kind of broke down, cried, and went through a whole cycle. And I feel like, that may not be the healthiest, but it happened. Let's be real. Um, Loss is not fun. I went through a time period where I interned at Walt Disney World, and the thing that led me to doing that internship was the fact that my dad died. I kind of felt like I lived in an area with people who were too busy to hang out with me. People I was always there for, but it was never reciprocated. An area that was very complacent. I felt pretty much alone when this situation happened. And I had a few friends that were there when it first happened. And I had a friend that was around to kind of help me get through some stuff. But I still felt alone. I still felt like when I needed people the most, they weren't there. I felt like everyone was too busy and things like that. And I kept getting several excuses. Um, so I kind of just got to this point where I felt like if I'm going to be alone, I might as well be somewhere else. And I even say I felt like ending things at that particular time. But I didn't, obviously. So I chose to do this internship where I could, work with this company. And due to the disclosure of the company, I can't really go into detail, or I don't know, but I'm choosing not to because I don't want any legal litigation. But I will tell you that going away and doing this internship, I have many friends I'm still friends with to this day. Even one of those friends came to my graduation from college, and he literally drove 6 hours. I can't remember how exactly far it was. But still, to think that someone drove hours, stayed overnight, spent time in my house to come to my graduation, and I had people I had been friends with for years who lived 10, 15 minutes away who couldn't even come and gave me 10,000 excuses. I have a friend that I've been friends with for 10 years. Me and her meet up anytime she's near me, anytime I'm near her. We intentionally plan things together to be there. We have accountability nights every week that we kind of keep each other on track with our goals. The whole thing that this whole discussion is about is that people make time for who and what they want to. And I'm leaving this video unedited on purpose. People make time for who and what they want to. Shortly after that, I fell into a relationship with an individual that wasn't particularly the best. The individual had a thing with dependency, a thing with debt, was very much, I don't know, broken from their own home and things with their own parents. And, you know, I'm not perfect. I had things in that relationship too that I wasn't the best. And particularly, I dealt with someone who, even though I did all these things for that individual, teaching them to drive, helping them get into school, other things like that, I still wasn't this person's particular choice. And I kept fighting to keep that person in my life, even though it was very obvious that that person particularly did not appreciate me. And no matter how many people told me to leave this person, I still stuck around with this person because I saw potential. I didn't necessarily look at reality. And I think we all fall victim of that, and I don't regret it. Um Sometimes you go through things, sometimes you go a different path in things, and you discover who you are, you learn things about yourself. My internship with Disney, I quickly made friends with people literally standing in line to do my apartment and everything else. Um, I learned quickly by doing this internship that I had, excuse me, a lot more fight in me. I had people who actually cared about me, and it was overall an experience that I can't put into words, and it's an experience I'm still thankful for. But in this experience, we went through difficulty and we still had each other's back no matter what. I mean, we starved, we were broke, we some didn't have cars, I came in my car. You know, we went through a lot through this internship, but everyone still supported each other. I still get calls from friends who are from that time period. One roommate in particular. Um so overall, don't be afraid to take chances. Don't be afraid to mourn. Don't be afraid to deal with loss. Um, it's been 10, 11 years now since my dad has been gone. I still have my moments where it's difficult and it's tough, um, to deal with. And I'm only a person. And I think so many times we try to facade like we're perfect. We try to act like we don't go through things. We try to pass the blame on other people when a lot of things are us within ourselves. Even our, like the relationship thing I discussed. There's a lot of things within myself that I didn't know how to deal with. It didn't help having a person who didn't know how to deal with things on their own either, having a broken family and household, and not having anything that they would have to move in with someone and they have to teach them how to drive and do all kinds of other things. But you know, you can't regret your path, you can't regret your situation, you can't regret what you dealt with just because you wanted to be accepted. And I think a lot of us stick with people because we're afraid of being alone. We feel like we can't be alone. We feel like we just want to be accepted. We just want to be valued. We just want to be appreciated. And it's hard to know how to get that. And that's something I'm not 100% on. But one thing that has helped me greatly so far is one secret I will share. And I have a book coming out with some of the things that I'm done, and I'm still working on a lot of things and researching a lot of things. But one thing I know, and I think I may have came across this somewhere, not sure. So if it belongs to someone else, this is probably your idea. Maybe I came across it. I'm not 100% sure. But to write down every negative thing or every lie that you've heard and wrote, I deserve better underneath it. Because you do deserve better. And we all deserve to be happy. And the number one question that we ask anytime we meet a better individual or we see a better job is, oh, that's not for me because why me, basically. Well, here's another question I thought about today. Instead of asking why me, ask why not me. And that's just something I'm kind of thinking about here. Is why not you? Why can't this awesome person go out with you? Why can't this company be thankful that you are working with them? Why can't, this bank, institution, school, whatever it is that you seek, isn't happy to have you? You know, this little guy here, sometimes I feel like I'm not a good parent for him. But I mean, he seems to be just happy and content with me. And I feel like there's so much that I need to do for him. And I feel like a lot of times I fail as a parent. But I mean, just simply, this is all he wants, is to just have me and this level of contentment and trust that he has. So even though there's times I feel like I'm not a good pet parent, There's times I feel like I'm not a good employee. There's times I have been a terrible friend, a rough friend, a little short around the edges. There's times that I fail at everything, and there's times I succeed at everything. But the number one thing I hold on to is that I have strength to be great, and I am a great person, and I am a wonderful person, and those same things apply to you. Now, there are things I need to work on. Yes. Are there things that I need to improve? Absolutely. Are there things I need to learn? Absolutely. And there will continue to be. So I'm not perfect, not trying to perpetrate that I am. But the number one thing I'll say is, like the old people say, give people their flowers while they here, not while they're gone. And the one thing I can say about my dad that has made his death the easiest is I know that for the 14, 15 years that he was around and the 19 years that he was alive, I could call him and he could say, I'm busy, but I'll call you back. And literally within 20 to 30 minutes, he would call me back. He was never too busy, and this applies with both parents, that they would take their lunch breaks, they would do whatever. My parents were very involved in my life growing up. So I can easily hold on to that about my dad. Um, my dad knew that I loved him, but there were times because of what went on between him and my mom, and I'm not going into detail with that either for nosy people, but there are things that went on between them that they separated. And there were times as an adult that I kind of rejected his calls, didn't call him back, and things like that. And of course, I regret those things now because he's gone. But at the same time, I've had to forgive myself and learn that I did things as a son, and overall I gave him a chance. And I miss our little fishing trips where me and him would talk. I miss so many of my conversations with him. I miss now that I'm almost 30 and you know he's not here to see it. I miss I graduated college. He wasn't here to see it. He knew I published a book. Purchased a copy. Also, that book is titled Dreaming on Amazon for anyone that's interested. Um, but he purchased a copy of the book, and you know what? Even in the situation with my dad, he never spoke negative over my mom, never called her out of her name, and the same thing with me. People go through things, people have struggles, people have quote unquote demons, and we downplay mental illness so much like it's not a real deal when it really is. So, long story short, I'm here for anybody who needs someone to talk to. I'm only a text phone call away. I've made several trips places to visit friends, to be there for them. I'm always here to offer advice. But there's times too that I need you. And there's times there that I want to talk to you. And I get tired of hearing your voicemail. I get tired of hearing your text message. I get tired of only being someone you talk to when you need something or you need advice. And then when I start ignoring you, all of a sudden I'm acting funny or I'm weird. Or if I move away and go somewhere, oh, I didn't know you were feeling that way. And if you're a Christian, oh, my brother, I haven't heard from you. I've been so worried. No, you haven't. I've been gone for 6 months on this internship. And all of a sudden, now you're worried because you see me. Like, there's so much of this that we pretend and perpetrate, and there's so many things that all of us have to work on, even me included. We're all busy, we all have things to do, but, sometime in there, we gotta at least reach out to people and show them that we love them. So, just spreading the joy of love, and I love all of you. And this video is very unedited, and a lot of them are probably going to be like that. I'm just going to enhance them a little bit, make them more professional. But hopefully, this helps you. Drop me some comments below, and let's see what you guys think. And also, what else can we talk about? What are you dealing with? It's your platform, too. You be your portfolio. I'm Arius Michael. Have a good night.